everyone, welcome to my channel and Happy New Year. This is my first tutorial of the 2023. So I am starting off with a floral tutorial to kick off the New Year's and also for the Valentine's Day. So one of the goals that I have for this year is to use up my scrap clay. The colors that you see, I use my scrap clay to create those, and I'll be using this black clay as my base. So I ran the black clay through the pasta machine on the thickest setting, and I'm here folding it in half so I can get a better thickness to create my base. Unlike other earrings that I create, most of the other earrings, I'm gonna be cutting up the base first. I use this square cutter. It has nice rounded up corners, and I'm going for this bead kind of look. And I am of course going to clean up the edges. This will help me so much at the end so I don't have to do a lot of sanding. Like I mentioned before, I'm going for the bead kind of look, so I am using these eye pins, and here I'm straightening them up so I can poke it right through the base. I will link these down below for you guys. I think I got these off of Etsy, but I will link them down below. So I'm just carefully poking them through to make sure that I keep the shape. It is helpful if you can put the clay on top of your tile and press the eye pin through. Alrighty, now we're moving on to the fun part. So I'm using this dusty rose mauve, not sure what color this is, but this color to create the petals, and I'm using this dot cutter. You can use a larger cutter as well, or use them together, whatever you prefer. So I ran this clay through the pasta machine on the thinnest setting just to make sure that we have that nice body to the petals that we're creating. I'm using the dot cutter to cut as many petals as I could get. So before I jump on to create the flowers, I'll be creating the stems for the flowers. I'm using this sage green color that I mixed up. I am going to roll out a snake, thin as I could get, and I am using about 3 stems on this design. Of course, you can use a little bit more and have it like spread out, whatever you have in mind for your design. Now I'm ready to create the petals. So I'm gonna pick up one of these circles that we cut, and I'm gonna use this ball tool to give some body, some texture to the petals. I'm gonna just push it through from the middle and create spread it as thin as I could. It's gonna create this nice fabric drapey kind of texture on the clay. That way we can get the details on the petals. So here I'm placing it on the base, on the stem, then I'm using the needle tool to kind of get the details on the petal. I'm just pushing in, creating like a ripple effect, I would say. Then I'm moving on to the next petal as well, doing the same process over again. For the base of the flower, I'm using about 3 petals. Of course, it could be your preference, depending on what style that you like. These ones I kind of wanted to go into like a wild rose, peonies kind of look. So that's why I am going to put 3 petals on the bottom base, and then 2 in the middle and 1 at the top. That way you can have that nice 3D flower kind of look to it. So it's not gonna be too bulky, but it's gonna have that nice 3D effect without the bulk. So I'm gonna do the middle a little differently. I'm gonna still texture the petal with the bowl tool, but instead of just placing it as is, I'm rolling it from one corner to the other. It's like kind of like a rolled effect in the middle, and I have created two of these for this particular flower. I'm so sorry, I know it's a little bit blurry, but I think the next one would be a little bit clear that you guys can see. It is the same process of creating the texture and just rolling it and placing it. Last but not least, the final closing petal, I would like to call it. It is gonna be the same process. We're gonna do the texturing, but I'm gonna do something a little bit different to this petal. I'm gonna pinch it from the bottom a little bit. That way it'll be easier to for it to sit right underneath all the petals that I created before. You'll see in a second right there. So it just sits right at the bottom of all the petals. That way we can fully close out the flower and texture it and add the details. So using those same steps, I created two more flowers for this design. Of course, they're not gonna turn out the same every time you do this technique. That's the beauty of it. They're gonna turn out very different. They're gonna have their own unique beautiful qualities, I guess. Put on your favorite TV show. I like to watch ghost hunting TV shows. I know my husband always cringe at me when I watch them. He's always like, oh my god, those are fake, don't watch them. But I love them. It's just the thrill of it. But put on your favorite TV show, grab a cup of coffee. It's gonna go quite fast once you get the hang of it. And of course, if you guys have any questions, please do comment down below. I'll try my best to answer it, or you can contact me on my Instagram. I do try to answer every single one of my DMs. I'm not as active there as I would like it to be. It is a full-time job to be active on Instagram, let's be honest. But also, if you have any ideas for future tutorials, please let me know, because I think I'm running out of ideas. If you just like to see any other clay projects, not just earrings, please let me know. So I actually added a little bud onto the middle flower as well. It's just one petal, and I textured it using the needle tool. So next I'm gonna be creating the leaves. I got this sage color again, and I got the teensiest little ball of clay, and I'm gonna roll it into a shape that's like a rice grain. Then I'm placing it wherever I like, and then using the needle tool to kind of place it and press it. There I just messed up a little bit, so I'm going back and rolling it, and now I'm placing it again. It's like from the bottom to top, I am using the end of the needle tool to create that little detail on it. Then we have our main part of the earring completed. I'm gonna show you guys how to create some beads. If you don't have like bead rollers or like those fancy bead tools, this is a great technique. I am cutting up kind of large size circles and medium size circles for these beads that I'm going to be showing you guys. So I'm going to use this large circle first. I'm conditioning it a little bit and then rolling it into a smooth ball. You want to get the ball smooth as you could. So this bead is super simple. I'm gonna place my clay ball on my tile and kind of press it only from one side. Kind of press it and rolling it. You gotta roll it really slowly, don't go really fast. because what's gonna do is kind of create that cone shape, and you just want to kind of smooth it out, and it's gonna have a cone shape at the top, and at the bottom it's going to be nice and round. I'm pretty sure this has some kind of name in geometry, but I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's a really cute bead and it's really easy to make. So this second bead is really simple as well. It is a really nice filler bead, I would say. Again, roll it into a circle, a ball, a really smooth ball. And I am going to be using a small acrylic block for this. Make sure it's very smooth, like so. And I'm gonna put it back on the tile and gonna press it a little bit. You don't want to go like too far, but press it just a little bit, and then kind of smooth the around the that ball, I would say, with your fingers, so it is nice and smooth around, and it's gonna have nice thickness to it. And I'm using a eye pin to poke a hole at it so we can put it through our main design and use it as a filler bead. So before I put these guys in the oven and call it a day, I am going to poke a hole in my cone beads. This way, when I put the actual eye pin through, the clay won't be distorted. It is really easy for straight eye pins to come out of these beads. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a short eye pin and kind of misshapen it, kind of like create wiggles on it, I would say. See, this is what I created. That way it'll stay there and nice and neat. And I created the hole because once we put this one through it, it might misshapen the bead. I'm using some clay adhesive and pushing the eye pin through the bead, and of course if it misshapen a little bit, you can always roll it and try to get it back on shape. It's clay, you can play around with it, that's the beauty of it. So I transferred the earrings onto a sheet of printer paper and onto a baking tray. I baked them in the oven for an hour at 275 Fahrenheit. I'll show you guys what happened if you don't use the correct temperature. This morning I was baking something. I made those egg in a hole sandwiches kind of things, and I forgot to change the temperature. These were baking at 375. Yeah, I'm surprised that I did not burn my kitchen down, but use the correct temperature, don't be like me. But I finished up the earrings, I added the beads, the findings. These kind of reminds me of the Chinese New Year. They do really look nice. I really love the shape of these earrings. I'm gonna try and create a little collection out of it if I have time, and maybe post it on my website. But thank you for staying until the end of this video. I really enjoy creating these videos now. Now that I have time, please do subscribe, like, and share. It really helps out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.